Camilla and Charles separated, what comes next? Prince Charles has reportedly recovered from coronavirus, is no longer required to stay in self-isolation, but Camilla must remain under quarantine until the end of the week. While the Duchess hasn't tested positive for the virus, there is crucial reason why she must remain in isolation for 14 days, even though Charles only kept his distance for 7. According to British NHS guidelines, the quarantine rules differ for those who test positive to the virus and those who are living with them at the time of their diagnosis. On Monday, Clarence House reportedly confirmed Charles was allowed to leave self-isolation after 7 days on the advice of his doctor and in accordance with NHS guidelines. Having consulted with his doctor, the Prince of Wales is now out of self-isolation, a Clarence House spokesperson allegedly said at the time, Mail Online reported. The reason why Camilla must remain in seclusion, despite her negative status, is because it can take up to 2 weeks for COVID-19 symptoms to appear. If you live with someone who has symptoms, you'll need to self-isolate for 14 days from the day their symptoms started, the NHS guidelines state. If you get symptoms, self-isolate for 7 days from when your symptoms start, even if it means you're self-isolating for longer than 14 days. If you do not get symptoms, you can stop self-isolating after 14 days, the health authority concluded. In contrast, people with confirmed COVID-19 symptoms are only required to stay under quarantine for 7 days from when signs are first diagnosed. After 7 days, if you do not have a high temperature, you do not need to self-isolate, the NHS website states. If you still have a high temperature, keep self-isolating until your temperature returns to normal, the guidelines add. You do not need to self-isolate if you just have a cough after 7 days. A cough can last for several weeks after the infection has gone. As a result of the strict guidelines, Camilla and Charles will not be reunited in person until the end of the week at the very earliest. Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, heartbreak, why Camilla will have to wait to see Charles again. Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, and Prince Charles have been self-isolating in Scotland amid the coronavirus crisis. While Camilla has not tested positive for COVID-19, she will have to wait to be reunited with her husband. Here's why. Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, 72, and Prince Charles, 71, have been self-isolating apart at their Aberdeenshire home Birkhall after it was revealed Prince Charles tested positive for COVID-19 last week. Clarence House confirmed Prince Charles was doing well on Monday and had left self-isolation after 7 days, but Camilla will have to wait to see him. Clarence House gave an update on Prince Charles, confirming he was in good health and the decision to leave self-isolation after 7 days was made on the advice of his doctor. However, Camilla will have to self-isolate for another 7 days before she can reunite with Charles. Why will Camilla have to wait to see Charles? While the Duchess of Cornwall did not test positive for COVID-19, she will have to continue to self-isolate because she hasn't shown any symptoms. The government advice states those with symptoms should isolate for 7 days, while the other members of the household or close family group should isolate for 14 days. So Camilla will have to wait another week before she gets the all-clear to see Charles again. Both Charles and Camilla are in their 70s and are considered in the high-risk category for COVID-19. However, Charles seems to have recovered from the coronavirus, having experienced only mild symptoms. The Duchess of Cornwall released a heartfelt statement to women at risk during lockdown measures over the weekend. The statement was the first time she had spoken out since Prince Charles' diagnosis and showed her ongoing support for victims of domestic abuse. Camilla is a vocal campaigner against domestic violence and urged women at risk to seek help during the lockdown. She realized the following message via the Clarence House Twitter account. The heartfelt tweet read, "A message from the Duchess of Cornwall. This is a hard time for everyone, as we are all asked to stay at home to stay safe. But for some of you it is even harder because home is not a safe place." The message added, "If you are in immediate danger, please call 999 and ask for the police. Telephone if you are not in immediate danger, please call one of the following 24-hour helplines. England, 0808 2000247. Northern Ireland, 0808-802-1414. Scotland, 0800-027-1234. Wales, 0808-8010 inches. Camilla is an ambassador for domestic abuse charity Safe Lives and urged vulnerable women to go to the organization's website where there are resources on how to stay safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. Camilla and Charles are expected to remain at Burke Hall, where they had always intended to spend Easter until lockdown measures are lifted.